It's another Wednesday.
Well, 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 well. It is Wednesday, and this is Out With It. The news behind the news. You've got Dave, you got Ken, and we got you.
So, has everybody finished shoveling their themselves out?
No.
That's what I was doing today. And then the plow came and moved it all back in again. So, fortunately, it's got to be around 10 degrees and melting fast. Not fast enough for me, but I digress.
That was a huge dump, and then to have all that snow, like half of it melt away that soon was,
you got
amazing.
your snowman in first, though.
Yeah, my son and I, we went and we built this R2-D2 snowman that was, he's been getting into Star Wars and R2-D2, and so I said, next time it snows, we'll make an R2-D2, and then the first thing when he saw the snow, he's like, Daddy, make me an R2-D2. So we did that, and I'm hurting, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yes.
That's okay. Well,
hasn't this been a week of action?
We might as well. Yes. We've got a lot of ground to cover. And lo and behold, what's that sound? What's that sound? It's... We don't have any sponsors.
We should quickly go to commercials. No, wait a minute. There are none.
We've got...
We're so bad they dropped from our show.
Yeah, maybe we're just a bit too controversial for some. However.
Well, maybe not. Maybe apparently everybody's broke, and so there are no more.
It's winter
funds.
in Salt Spring.
That's right. That's right.
So that means we can just dive right in. And Ken, you have an overflowing list there.
There's
of deets.
There's a bunch of little things I thought we might open up with, and then go into some other action that I'm sure everyone will be expecting to chat a wee bit about this later. But let's think about this first of all. That should you keep being radical, and that is listening to this radio show or going to our website, there's a place for you. And this is from the Montreal Gazette. Harper government to announce more prison expansions. So
that's this week.
That came January 9th. The number of penitentiaries listed for expansion in a $2 billion federal prison building boom will rise to more than 24 Monday as Conservative MPs make announcements on 8 prisons in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, and Quebec. I almost sneezed, but I didn't. So at least they're not building any in BC, but that would mean that we're being shipped to Saskatchewan, probably. So that's fine.
When the time comes, and it's time for the camps, Jafari, if you're listening, I say that in jest.
But you never know. Yes, they've already Ottawa's already announced more than $110 million worth of new cell construction at 4 prisons in Ontario, and so just to let you know that they must be expecting more crime. Now I'm hoping that maybe white-collar criminals are going to be taking up those cells. And knowing that there are probably more white-collar criminals than they're making space for, they really should go for it. You know? Just start taking the Wall Street creeps right out of the whole equation.
Either that or the derivatives market needs more fuel, which is basically, as our anonymous source had relayed to us, one of our handful of conversations. It sounds like, our hides are really worth money. And when we go through the judicial system, that money gets transferred into bank accounts and fuel for the machine. What else you got there, Ken?
Well, here's some more fuel for the machine. F-35 purchase will help Canadian forces bolster economy, Baird says. Now,
dreaded F-35.
The F-35. Now, again, I find that laughable when politicians are saying, "Oh, this is this is great for the economy. You know, everything's great for the economy." All you have to do is say that enough times near an election, and people believe you. They figure. Anyhow,
it's great for who? Lockheed Martin? Is that his bill? Is that?
Pretty much. But, I noticed this week, actually, the Americans are waffling on a bunch of the F-35s, and they're actually putting U.S. government announced that the development of a variant of the F-35 ordered by the Marine Corps will be put on a 2-year probation due to, quote, significant testing problems.
Well, as I had reported a little while ago, the software for those planes, and they are heavily dependent on software. Just like cars now, the car engines are computerized now. But these planes, apparently, all of the functions are heavily dependent on computer programs. The computer programs, the security of the computer programs was compromised. They were hacked. And so I would say overnight, the value of those planes is probably slashed. Mm-hmm. It's not going to stop them from trying to sell them, though.
Yeah. No, that's exactly the problem. And again, here the idea here is that we're seeing contracts worth more than $350 million being awarded to Canadian contractors, research laboratories, and universities in every part of the country. This means we've already seen a 2-to-1 return on our investment. That's really the bottom line. The investment's there. We're putting probably upwards to $20 billion. Who we are, meaning the taxpayers who actually don't want these damn things, and yet. No, we're going to be seeing a return on our investment. And, everyone loves to be part of the military murder machinery. I do. I always go back to how many F-35s would Jesus buy?
Yeah.
Not many, is my guess. So think about it. Now, how about some other kinds of activity? Some comments that I was noticing this week. I'm just going to kind of go down a few bits of news here that I find interesting about the royal family. They are being granted a new right of secrecy. Not that I really care about the royal family, but I just find it interesting that, us plebes, we don't get any grants of new rights of secrecy because we don't matter. But the royal family is to be granted absolute protection from public scrutiny in a controversial legal reform designed to draw a veil of secrecy over the affairs of the Queen, Prince Charles, and Prince William. Letters, emails, and documents related to the monarch, her heir, and the second in line to the throne will no longer be disclosed, even if they are in the public interest. Sweeping changes to the Freedom of Information Act will reverse advances which had briefly shone a light on the royal finances, including an attempt by the Queen to use a state poverty fund to heat Buckingham Palace, and which had threatened to force the disclosure of Prince of Wales' prolific correspondence with ministers. So again, if you got blue blood or you got some moolah, you can buy your way out of this security trap that we're all involved in now. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Had they not had this freedom of information, then people wouldn't have known that Her Royal Highness was taking money out of the state poverty fund to heat Buckingham Palace. Shame on you. You're not the queen of my country. So anyhow. And how about
it's the same across the board, isn't it?
It is. If you got the right name and you got the right cash and you're part of this upper crust and this oligarchic regime, then things are good for you.
They're not going to bend an inch to compromise their lifestyles.
No, and in fact,
one bit.
They're going to rewrite laws in order to make sure that their lifestyles are on top of things, and our lifestyles don't matter because we don't matter. We pay for her heating, right? So we don't matter, except as much as we are a part of the paycheck that goes their way. We are the taxpayers that make their scam happen. Top Clinton official. Only a terror attack can save Obama. Isn't that nice? Paul Joseph Watson of the PrisonPlanet.com.
That's Alex Jones's website.
Alex Jones, former senior advisor to President Bill Clinton, says that the only thing which can rescue Barack Obama's increasingly tenuous grip on power as his approval figures continue to plunge is a terror attack on the scale of Oklahoma City or 9/11. Another startling reminder that such events only ever serve to benefit those in authority.
Isn't that interesting? Because there was one, basically, last weekend, and we'll get into that a little bit further into the show.
Yes, but again, it's and I think part of the question was around this. This came out, no, I'm not sure, a little earlier. But the idea that Obama's going to need some kind of major event, just like Georgie did, anytime an election, anything happens, it's like, let's whip out Osama, or let's get someone to try and blow their underwear up or something stupid. apparently these guys think about this. And what's the old adage that never let a good crisis go to waste? I mean,
Exactly.
that's these guys are pros.
You
at
spin
that.
it, and you spin it, and you spin it in whatever direction you want
Yes.
for your own agendas that are on the shelf.